Welcome back. For today's video post, I'm going to be talking about chapters 3, 4, and 5 in Vincent Tinto's Completing College. In these chapters, Tinto moves away from the idea of creating high expectations for students and talks about the next 3 steps in his institutional plan of action to create student success, which are to properly support students, to use assessment and feedback to better your programs, and then finally, to engage students and involve them on campus. Tinto transitions out of creating high expectations by introducing Sanford's theory of challenge and support. Here he says that there needs to be a balance between these high expectations and challenges and the amount of support that students receive on campus. First and foremost, he stresses the importance of academic support, which has been a theme for Tinto, especially when it involves academic support during the first year. Specifically, he narrows it down to support designed to promote success in students' first semester, which he sees as critical in improving their confidence and self-efficacy. He says, quote, on page 27, "Success depends as much on their coming to see themselves as being able to succeed as it does to the acquisition of basic skills." So here he's really placing an emphasis on confidence, self-efficacy, a lot of students coming to college unaware of what to expect, and programs designed to improve their success early and often during that first semester is going to increase their likelihood of success as they move on to the second semester and beyond into their second year of college. Moving on to social support for students, Tinto stresses that there are forces both on and off campus that will influence a student's belonging or membership in the social community. Another quote from Tinto, "Informal knowledge helps you navigate the foreign terrain of college." And when I read this, I thought, coming onto college, the campus can be very foreign, especially to students who are commuting from out of town, living away from home for the first time. And having a mentor or an older, I think peer mentorship would be huge for first semester students in helping them navigate this new terrain, this new environment, and helping them find their place in the social community. Because he says that the absence of feeling like you belong to the social community could lead to problems or students to drop out because they fail to adjust properly. And while I see this as true, I think student affairs professionals need to stress to students that they have to have patience. Everyone in their new environment is going to struggle with homesickness, with being away from old friends, but they need to know that it's going to get better. Get involved. You're going to make new friends. It's going to take some time. So I think students, especially in today's world of instant gratification, need to realize and understand the idea of having patience. The third component of support that Tinto discusses is the idea of financial support. Especially in today's economic climate, there's a lot of students relying on federal aid, financial support to pay for college. And he stresses that the element of value needs to be there. Students need to perceive their education and their degree ultimately to have some value. And I think that the value of the college degree right now is coming under threat. Students who are graduating from college are still struggling to find jobs, and it's leading a lot of students to question whether or not spending and ending up $20,000 to $30,000 in debt is worth the price of a college degree. So, as administrators and educators, we need to place value back in the college experience, provide a quality education, and hopefully this in itself will change students' perception and increase their persistence and willingness to stay enrolled. Moving on, Tinto goes on to describe some of the most popular academic support programs used on campuses to help hopefully add value to the college experience and increase student success. Among them are supplemental instruction or peer instruction additional to the course itself, or summer bridge programs. While these two programs have been shown through research to add value and increase student success, I'm a little wary of the results of some of the studies, because a lot of times they try to control this variable, but at the same time I think it could skew results. Is the fact that those participating in supplemental instruction or bridge programs, yes, they might be producing better grades than those who don't, but at the same time, aren't these the students who are probably motivated and want to succeed, that they would probably do better anyways? The fact that they're making the effort to attend these sessions is probably separating them from the rest of the pack as is. And another hard to control variable is just the way that peer instructors or professors themselves teach these classes. There's so many different methodologies, and just the efficiency of the teaching itself is going to vary from institution to institution or class to class. So while Tinto says that these are going to help increase student success and promote persistence, I found an article in the College Student Journal titled "Supplemental Instruction Improves Grades but Not Persistence." So you can see there is a little bit of discrepancy between research, but at the same time I think it's safe to say that both SI, Summer Bridge, a lot of these programs, they are proven to be beneficial to students, especially in that first year of college. And finally, giving some ways that institutions can promote and strengthen a student's social support. It just says to get them connected to a faculty member, to a student group, an organization once they get on campus. Give them an outlet, a support group to not only help their academic experience, but help them transition socially into this new environment. And I think a great example of this is in the Office of Disabled Student Development here on campus, the faculty mentorship program for incoming students with disabilities. We try to pair them up with a faculty member, possibly in their area of study or interest, and just to help them, learn what it's going to take in college, kind of what to expect in their classes, if they have any questions, to resort to this person. But what I found is it's really hard to get these students to get involved. We have opening meetings in the fall that introduce them to the different services available. We talk about the F&P program, and what I find a lot is that students come in later on, maybe in the beginning of the spring semester or late in the fall, and they're struggling. They realize, okay, I need some additional help that I should have probably taken advantage of early. So the real challenge is to intervene and to go out and almost recruit these students into these programs that we know can be helpful. In Chapter 4, the topic turns to assessment in post-secondary education. There's so many different forms of assessment on a college campus, whether it be right after students admitted, taking placement exams to see where they fit in these first year classes, whether there's any remedial work needed. There's even assessments for residential placement, little surveys to see who would be a good match for you as a roommate. A very creative and innovative one that a few of my professors use in undergrad, the 1-minute paper. Basically, instead of waiting till the end of the year to get feedback on your teaching style, some teachers would say, hey, today just get out a piece of paper, write down what you like best about this class, what things I could improve on, and then using that mid-semester to maybe alter some of the things they've been doing, I think is a very helpful way. So all of these different forms of assessment, but at the same time used. And really the biggest theme that I saw surface through this chapter was the idea of the technology that's available today for assessment, and really finding out a way to use this to the best of our strengths. You see that we have predictive analysis, data finding, and warning alert systems to see if a student is struggling early on in their first semester with a class. It can alert advisors immediately to let them know that a student is struggling, and then more emphasis can be placed on getting them involved in some programs that can help. So with this vast amount of technology that's available to us today, the world of assessment is only going to get bigger. And finally, in Chapter 5, the topic of involvement is introduced. And involvement is interesting because every student, when they enroll and step foot on campus, hear countless times, you need to get involved on campus. But what does this actually mean? Tinto says that academic and social involvement, though conceptually distinct, both overlap and influence each other. Two great examples in the literature of ways that social and academic components should and are often combined are through cooperative or collaborative learning in the classroom. And I think a lot of institutions are really adopting counterintuitive approaches to the freshman year, with all the research pointing to the obvious importance of the first year as far as success and retention is concerned. We all know that, especially at major public institutions, most general ed freshman year classes involve crowded lecture halls with someone standing at the front of the room talking and expecting students to pay attention and take notes for long, extended periods of time. What you would expect and would think would be more fitting are these ideas of collaborative learning, where the classroom's a little bit smaller. Students are asked to work in teams together, thereby increasing their social interaction to maybe solve a problem that directly relates to the concepts in the textbook or in the lesson. Almost in an exact opposite way, that the collaborative learning brings the social aspect into the classroom, but living and learning communities, which are really becoming popular on most institutions, brings the academic component into the residence halls and social lives of students. So while they may not even perceive that they're studying or putting in more time with academics, the whole experience is just intellectual interaction socially and academically. So with those components in mind, and kind of to wrap it up and put it all together, I think as the book shows, there's countless ways that institutions have and can implement these different components of Tinto's plan of institutional action. But at the same time, really the four major themes of creating high expectations, social support as well as academic support for students, using assessment and feedback to improve programs, and finally to engage students on campus and give them some involvement, are really the core components that we can take away and hopefully apply them in whatever way fits the institutional mission of the campus that we're on. So that was kind of what I wanted to get across with chapters 3, 4, and 5 of Completing College. There should be more to come. Appreciate you checking in, and thanks again.